Welcome. I'm so glad to have you back today. I hope you enjoyed the last lesson. And today, let's just take a deep breath in and blow it out. And take another deep breath in and blow it out. And together we're going to say our offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more and more and more and more and more. All right, so we are on week 2 of Champions for Life curriculum, and we have been talking about African Americans that have done amazing things in history, who were able to overcome challenges and really succeed in life. And they used their spiritual principles and their faith in God to see them through their challenges. So today's Bible story is about King Saul, and a little bit of background. He orders his son Johnathan and all of his servants to kill David, but Johnathan is David's friend. He warns David and gets Saul to rescind the order. With David's dominance in battle against the Philistines, Saul renews his efforts to kill him. Though it puts him in jeopardy, Johnathan promises to use his status to discover Saul's intentions. Johnathan tells David not to come on to the monthly celebration of the festival of the new moon. Though David was supposed to attend the royal dinner, Johnathan tells him to hide. By the 3rd day of the festival, Johnathan will use his archery skills to secretly send David a message. Shooting the arrow to one place will mean David is safe. To another, it will mean he must flee and run away. David will know by hearing Jonathan's instructions to the servants. These plans are an eternal testimony of God concerning their friendship and loyalty. At dinner, Saul gets so angry at David's absence that he tries to kill Johnathan. The next morning, Johnathan shoots an arrow beyond the servant boy's reach. When the boy retrieves the arrow, Johnathan sends him back to town. As soon as they are alone, David comes out of hiding and bows to the ground 3 times. Johnathan, the friends kiss and cry. Known as the GOAT, greatest of all times, Serena Williams has won more Grand Slam single championships than anyone since 1968. She even made a comeback after complications of childbirth in 2017. In the 2019 US Open, after being penalized for reacting to referee calls, Williams lost to Naomi Osaka. Even as Osaka had used her skill and done her best to win the match, the crowd booed. Looking out for the good of this young tennis player and using her status as the greatest athlete, Williams shushed the crowd and affirmed Osaka's win, whose Haitian father modeled Williams' father's Richard Williams in teaching her the game of tennis, then bowed to her childhood idol, Japanese style, and proudly accepted the win. In 2018, a Vogue magazine article featured Serena Williams and illustrated that Black women, no matter what socioeconomic status, suffer more from the health risks that can come with childbirth, often due to racial bias among those who practice medicine. So as you can see, Serena Williams had many challenges, but when it came down to it, even though she didn't win at the US Open, she made sure that the people in the crowds treated the person who did win with respect and dignity, and gave them the opportunity to show what sportsmanship is and what it is to have integrity. Alright, so now you will get to view the cartoon and a little bit more about the story and our athlete.
Champions in Life comic book. Story 2. BOLO, be on the lookout. Hi, Jimmy. Where is your baseball gear? Good job, Kendi. You're here. The early bird gets the worm. 5 by 5, coach. I've been listening. Pow! Just like Serena. I think learning to swing like Serena is going to help me with my baseball skills. I brought my uncle's racket. I found these tennis balls in the attic. Pow, 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 pow. What's all this about tennis? I never heard of blacks doing tennis. Football, yeah. We're going through time a bit. BOLO, BOLO, be on the lookout for black tennis players. We're on the lookout. I'm game. Vámonos. Bolo, bolo, bolo. Mrs. C.O. Seams, mother of tennis, known for a non-returnable poison service. Chicago Prairie Tennis Club, established in 1912, over 100 years old. The oldest African-American tennis community in the United States, providing love, service, and advantage. The Harlem Tennis Club, established in 1915. Ora Mae Washington, 1898 to 1971. Queen of Tennis, American Tennis Association, Philadelphia. Althea Gibson, 1927 to 2003. I knew that I was an unusual, talented girl. Through the grace of God, I didn't need to prove that to myself. I only wanted to prove it to my opponents. Be on the lookout, church kids. Gibson played golf, too. I knew tennis would help my baseball skills. Arthur Ashe, 1943 to 1993. First and only African-American man to win Wimbledon, the U.S., and the Australian Open. He became the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. After developing heart disease, he became a spokesperson for heart health. During heart surgery, he contracted AIDS. He spoke up for AIDS research. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Yannick Noah, born 1960, won the French Open in 1983. Sloane Stephens is now a top 10 American tennis player. She is the 2017 U.S. Open champion. Yannick is a famous singer. His son, Joakim, plays basketball in the NBA. I already knew this stuff. Infomaniac. Infomaniac. That's me. Let's keep looking out. We're in Compton. There's Richard Williams teaching his baby girls, Venus and Serena. They really looked out for each other. They are fierce. Here's Naomi Osaka. Her dad taught her too. He was inspired by the Williams family. He is from Haiti and her mom is Japanese. Naomi represents Japan when she plays. Serena Williams, born 1981. 23 grand slams. Tennis is just a game. Family is forever. Well, what is a grand slam? What is an open? A bunch of games and a lot of money. Open means anyone can play. Serena Williams has won more slams than anyone since 1968. 1968. French Open, US Open, Wimbledon, Australian Open, Olympic gold 2000, 2008, 2012. Serena is beautiful and her clothes are fancy. People have said unkind things about her looks, sometimes even making fun. Sounds like someone is jelly. She's gotten a lot of bad calls too. She usually keeps her cool. Sometimes it's hard to keep your cool. Serena worked hard to get in shape after she got married and had a baby. I just know she is prettier than ever. After her last baby 5 years ago, my mom says her body still isn't right. Laughing my head off, laugh out loud. Shaking my head. And Serena had people talking about her. It's not fair, you're a thief. Boo, 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 stop, stop. Talk about looking out. US Open 2018. See, that's how to be a champion, even if you don't win. Serena treated Naomi like fam for real. That happened in the Bible too. In the book of 1 Samuel 20, 18 through 41. Johnathan and David were like brothers. Johnathan was King Saul's son. The people loved David. That made King Saul so jelly. Your dad has it out for me. Hide, I'll find out. Johnathan was good with a bow and arrow. He told David, if I shoot the arrow to a certain place, it means you gotta go. Johnathan looked out for David. They were sad, though. Watch that sun, Coach. Thanks for looking out, Kendi. Let's roll. I got to get back to the store. I have baseball practice. Baseball, not tennis? I have tennis lessons. And we're out. Pow.
All right, so now that you got to watch that cartoon and hear a little bit more about the athlete that we are highlighting, I want to talk to you about the metaphysical interpretation of this story. So in this story, we look at Johnathan, who is human, represents the human or soul love, where will and love are joined together. And we see that because that human affection that he has for David as a friend, he really loves him as a friend, is focused on that spiritual things instead of all the other things in the world. And David represents divine love, and Saul represents will without the spiritual understanding. And the shooting of the arrows symbolizes the soul darting toward forth loving, protecting thoughts towards that which we want to serve and keep safe. So it's like running towards that love. And the boy who picked up the arrows represents how we can use our physical body to follow our inner guidance. When David comes out and falls on his face, bowing to Johnathan, it shows us that when we allow our inner guidance to protect our love is set free. The act of bowing 3 times was David recognizing the Trinity, the God, Christ, and man, or mind, idea, and manifestation, as we might call it. What this story tells us is that when we use the power of will and the power of love together, we set our souls free and set that love free to be expressed in the world. And it is through action that we are able to express this love and show our divine light. Now I encourage you to go be a light in the world. Today's craft is going to be look out for others' tennis racket. And so you will need your tennis racket and string for this one. And you will see the pictures coming up next on how to do that. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and hopefully you enjoyed this week's lesson. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and we are grateful.